Morning, everyone. It's Susan again with another video for you. And what I'm going to be doing this morning, I decided I'm going to have some fun with some dyes that I've received recently. They're unbranded. I bought them from AliExpress and I want to test them. I want to see whether they do work, whether I can use them, or whether I should really buy the branded ones. So I'm going to have some fun with die cuts, but also I have to use my favorite thing at the moment, foiling. So I'm going to use some foiling as well. Even though some of them are foiling plates, some of them are cutting dies, I will be using foiling for both. So we'll have a look and see what I can come up with. So with no further ado, I'm going to share my screen with you. And here you go. I've got these dice that I bought. This was a set that came. And I've got things like hello, you, of, thanks, happy birthday, thinking, um, hugs. So there are some lovely words that I think can be used. Another thing I liked when I received these dice, they're a nice size that you can cut and put on a card without them being overwhelming. So depending on what card you are making. What I tend to also do, if I say thanks, I then tend to put a little sentiment saying for whatever reason it is, and I do those using my laser printer. So I'll still foil them, but it will be a different technique. So I'm going to use these, and I'm going to show you how any wording you have, you can still foil. And if you think, well, if I foil the word, what was going to happen? It will be very fine line. And then you cut round it and it doesn't look that nice. But no, because you can, and I did some before. I did a video on it where I had words that are cut, like the thanks here, it's been cut, and the layer, because they are all a die and then a layer. So if you look at these, what I did, I've cut both of them from white and both of them from the blue piece of hot foiled paper card. So what you end up with, some of them I already used, is this. You put the white with the hot foiled background, and you put the hot foiled thanks with the white background, and you get the opposite way round. And that's what I am going to intend to try these on. The other ones are these. They're lovely sentiments, but they are, as I say, from AliExpress. So they're not the proper, they're not like the ones I buy that are branded. But I want to know whether that makes a difference. Because if I test it, I can say, you know what, you can buy the non-branded one because you still get a good result. But if I can't get the good result with them, then I will say it's best to have just one and buy it branded than buy loads and they're no good. So I'm going to find out. I'm going to have a play. I don't know how they're going to fare because I used branded ones in the past. I haven't used this type in the past. So I'm going to try them out for you on this video. Okay, so to start with, the first thing I do when I get these, I tend to take them off. Now, if you're going to use them for foiling, I would say if you've got any of those little pieces stuck, cut them off as well. So when I cut this one off, look, and I cut it from here, you'd end up with those pieces. So what I'm going to do is I need to get them cut off as well. Now, I had a little clipper here. Let me just pause for a second for you. I'll be back in a second. Here you go. I got a little plier and I tend to get those pieces off. It's all right when you die cut. But if you're foiling, that bit could mark your foil. So I tend to cut them off. And then I also bring out, it's very difficult because I hurt my finger. And unfortunately, at the moment, it's very difficult for me to get them out. I will get that bit out of the centerpiece. All I need to do is twist it around and it will come off. It's just my finger is hurting me. And there you go. It's gone from one side, gone from the other. So why do I cut them off? Because with that one, I'll cut the word. And with that one, I'll cut the background. And I don't want to cut them both from the same one and then end up getting rid of it or throwing it, throw part of it away or have to cut it off or whatever. I'll end up, you can do them if you like to have the word inside the middle instead of on top of, but I like them on top of. So that's another one. What I'm going to do is again, pause a little, I'll do this and I'll be back. So you don't have to have such a long video and I'll be back. Right, so I've split them all up apart from one because I just couldn't get it off. The smaller ones are the ones that are difficult, like that one. In fact, I've got one I couldn't do it. But the rest were very easy. You just twist them one side and they're off, no problem. Made sure I cut all the pieces from them. And now what I tend to do is just get a magnet, pick up all the pieces here, make sure I don't leave any, because there were a lot of small pieces in there. And the next thing, make sure they're all pieces to be gone. That's not one. You've got to make sure you don't throw away any good things. So what's that? It's a number. Okay, that's all. I've got a hello there, I think. Is it? Oh no, that's a number. So that can go as well. So what I'm going to do is then drop them into my bin. So I don't get any pieces on the carpet and into anybody who might be barefooted. So I make sure I clean up after myself. So that's all been done. Oh, I got another piece here. Let's drop it in the bin as well. So now that I've got them done, I usually put them on a magnetic sheet or something so that I'll keep them in place. But for now, I'm going to leave that. I'll sort them out a little bit later. So all my words have been separated, cut, and I can start working with them now. Okay, so these ones that are the cutting dies, you can cut them from paper. So you can do a white one and the colored background or vice versa. Cut them out and they will be words that you can use, make sentiments with on your cards. Those are those ones. I'm going to put them to one side for now. Okay, I'm going to put them up there. These ones are the ones I'm curious to try out. Now, a lot of things can be a little bit different on them because when you do these, it depends on the foil, on the card you're going to use, the paper, if it's a shiny paper or if it's a normal card. So it depends on what you're using. I'm going to try it on this kind of paper first. It's a photo paper, it's shiny, but I'm not sure because I think this particular one was not necessarily always good to go, but I'm going to try them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on there for a minute, right? And I'm going to cut a piece of card that covers it. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to place it on there, okay? And I'm going to get, well, I did buy It's a matter of remembering where I've put it now. I bought some heat resistant tape, but it already looks like I've used quite a bit of it, and I don't know where I've left the rest. And I can't see them, so I'm not going to use that. I was going to put a piece of heat resistant tape on there. I will do it if I find it for the next one, just so that it will be stuck there as a hinge. Bring it up, put your foil on, ready to go. But it's big enough, it will cover it. So what I'm going to do is get one of my machines. Now I have the uh, Go Press and Foil, and I have the Spellbinders Glimmer machine. I like the both of them. I like them. And there is one thing I like on one and one other thing I like on the other one. What I noticed, let me get it and then I'll talk so you can, at the same time, we'll get it warmed up. The Glimmer machine seems to work heat up faster than the uh, Go Press and Foil. So for that reason, I prefer the Glimmer machine. However, the Glimmer machine, I had to put a tape on it to keep it flabbed on, whereas this one, it's brilliant. You can easily put on your plate. The plate is there and it will stay there. Now, when you first switch it on, don't wait for it to dry. You see the light and you think, oh, brilliant, I'm waiting. You can wait forever, because what you need to do first is press this button and it starts to flicker, or can't remember the word now. I'm getting old, ladies, don't worry. I say ladies because usually I teach ladies, but ladies and gentlemen, because I could have some gentlemen watching on YouTube. Right, so I press the button and it will start to blink intermittently, and that tells me it is warming up. Now, what I'm going to do is first put my die face upwards. So the nice part of the die, I need to see it this way. And I'm going to place it on this grid as nice and as neatly as I can. Then I'm going to take a piece of foil. And I'm going to take a piece that I know works beautifully with this kind of foiling. So I'm going to take a bit, and then because it's small, I'm going to use a bit of this. Look. Now, I also bought some new scissors yesterday, although I've got about 30 scissors, so I don't really need any more. But I bought some to leave them just for my foil. These are not expensive, but I wanted them to be just left for my foiling. Why? Because if you've got glue on them, you've got any residue, anything like that, they will not cut the foil nicely. So I bought 3 for that. Now, the next step is I'm going to put, now I need to test this with this method. I'm going to place that on top, and you place it beautiful side, kissing the beautiful side of the die. So if the nice side touches the nice die, because it's the back end of the paper that will then kiss your paper. I like to have a piece of 80-gram paper, and I place it on there. Why? So that it does not mark, it marks, you still get marks on your plates, but at least you don't get the foil on your plates. There is a way of getting it off, but I'd rather not get it on in the first place. And I'm going to wait till that goes green. When it goes green, I know it's ready for the next steps. I'm going to put it aside, and I'm bringing in my Big Shot. Let's move my things away a little so I have a bit more room on my desk where you can see. That's my keyboard. It can be moved. So now I have some manila folders that have been there for donkey's years since I worked for a company that was closed eventually and moved on. So they gave us anything we wanted really at the time, and that goes over 25 years. So I had these manila folders standing there thinking, what can I do with them? Didn't want to throw them away. Now I cut them in half. They're just folders, cut them in half and use them as a shim. So that when I pass it through, there is a little bit of good contact with my die. This is warming up, I can feel it. So what I'm going to do is wait for this to finish. When that goes green, you see why I said this takes slightly bit longer than if I had a glimmer. If I did a test with one side by side, the glimmer is a little bit faster. But the glimmer will move unless you put tape on to try to keep it hinged. The plates will move. Whereas with this one, your plates are clipped in and you don't have any problems with them moving. So for that reason, I don't mind waiting because you only wait a little bit at the beginning, really. And then what you do, when you get it out, before you do another one, just make sure you put it back in so it will start automatically going again. Right? If I can make my camera a little bit that way, I can move it inwards a little and you can see what's going on. Okay? So I just have to wait for that to go green and then I'm going to try it out. There you go. It's gone green now. Once it's green, I mean, to be fair, the glimmer machine goes quicker, but then the glimmer machine, you need to press a button and wait a minute for it to stay there. So still, you have a wait. You need to wait for it to be warm. Now, I'm going to pass it through my Big Shot with some shims, but when you do, go slow. Don't go over it too fast because you need to give it the chance to kiss the foil. The blade, the plate needs to kiss the foil. And I'm going to go backwards again. There is a little bit of resistance, but not much. And I'm going to go through. Now, the first one I've tried, you've seen me just cut them. I don't know how they're going to turn out, but I'm going to try and see how that fared. If it doesn't come right, I will try doing it with a different paper or maybe different foil. We'll see. That's the next step. I'm going to get that off. There it is, and it looks like it's done a really nice job of it. So what I'm going to do is leave it to cool down a little, and then I will reveal it. But in the meantime, I'm going sending health and happiness. I like that message. I could use it, so I'm going to cut another piece. And again, another one. Because we're now warm. It's already in, it's already going. I'm going to place that. It's already green, look. So once you start, it's very quick and you can keep going very easily. I don't know whether it came right, but I'm going to use a different piece of scrap card. I'm going to use this. This is just the normal scrap card because I want to know if it works with that kind of paper. That's like a 200 GSM. The next step, I'm placing my piece of paper and I'm ready to go. See, I don't have to wait while I prepared it. It's already ready to go. So I'm going to pass it through. It might be the paper is a little bit small for the sentiment, but we'll soon find out. And I just realized that talking to you, everyone, I missed putting the shim, so it went really, really easily through. And you need a bit of friction. So I'm going to do it again, putting a couple of shims on. And you can use any shims. I mean, if you've got plates, you can put a plate on. I might try putting a plate on, a big shot plate on. It might be good enough. But I've started doing that and it seems to work. So that's fair enough. So again, we're going to put that up. I'm going to take, if I put it in while I'm doing this, it will start warming up for my next one. And it looks like I did it right in place. The only thing is I don't know. Oh, look at that. It didn't even stick to it. So it worked it straight away. Let's see if look at that. And that came really nice. So now the next step would be when I finish doing my foiling, I'll just use my machine. Now, one thing somebody told me, someone said that it was very difficult to pick up your die when it's hot because it got stuck between the two. And they said it got stuck between the two and she couldn't get it off till it was cooler. Well, when you do pick up something like that, firstly I'm going to move my piece of foil. And if you keep that, if you have a plate, you can then do the opposite. So use the waste. I'll do that next. So you'll see how it works. Now, to pick it up, just press it down so the magnet comes through there. Pick it up. When you are ready, you just open it and it will drop wherever you drop it. So that's as easy as that gets. I'm going to put a small plate. Now I've got large plate, but I've also got a small plate that came with, that I bought from unbranded. It's quite a small one, and at first I thought, too small, should buy a bigger one, which I did, and I need a bigger one. But this one, this small one, what I can use it for is something that is small like that. So if I place that there, okay, and then I get a piece of my paper, and I'm going to place it on top of it. Like so. I'm going to close. I like to put my, it's just me. I don't want to get it dirty and whatever. So I'll put a piece of, and that's already in, but it's waiting for my die to warm up. I just dropped something, looking for it. There it is. In the meantime, while that's warming up, I'm going to reveal this one to see how this turned out. Now this had a lot of overfoiling. Look at that. So on the paper I anticipated was going to be really good. It came overfoiled. Okay. And to be honest, I would not use that over. Mind you, it's nice, but I wouldn't want to use that. On the paper that I thought it wouldn't work, because usually they don't work on this kind of paper, it turned out absolutely perfect. So there you go, the two results, which were different. Now I'm going to see what happens, because I'm using the same foil, the same paper from this particular foil. Let's see what happens when I do this. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to go back out, and I'm going to do it again, because you remember, I talk too much, and I forgot my shim. And without a shim, they don't kiss properly. And I need them, especially when it's the background that I'm doing, the waist, I call it. Now that's too much, so I'm not going to pass it through. I'm going to take one off, just put one in, and see whether it passed better. And there it is. I've got the kissing going. And then I just come back straight out slowly. And I'm going to test to see how this turned out in a minute. Place that there. Gonna bring it up. And I don't know how it's going to turn up. Oh, and look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So I've got the two. Now, what am I going to do with them? I'll show you in a second. So this has just come off pretty good. I'm going to throw it away. I'm going to put the plate off. And that got my magnet off. So let's have a look and see what goes on there. That got so stuck to it, it got my magnet off. So when it goes cold, I'll just put it back on. It looks like there was a contact glue, but for whatever reason, there you go. Now, is this hot? Shouldn't be. That should go to there. All right, it's just because it was so strong that it did that. I'll just put it back in and it should work nicely enough again. Okay, no problem. Now, I've done that. This is ready to go again. Oh, goodness me. Let's put something else on then. I'm going to try another one of these dies. And in the meantime, I'll then try to show you what to do with the rest. I'm going to do this. It says something before beyond words, but I can't read touched beyond words. You've got to read it backwards, and I'm not good at reading. I can read backwards, but I can't read these backwards, I'm afraid. So I'm going to try this one, touched beyond words. Is there anything else that I probably would use more than that? Yes, the smile one. It says, thanks for making me smile. Let's do that one. I'm going to place it and align it to there, like so. I'm going to use a different foil this time. Let's try. I'm going to get another foil. Hold on a second. I've got loads of different foils, and I'm just looking for something that's not very big, because what's the point of cutting really big pieces of foil when you've got reels like this, which are good enough to go. So I'm going to cut a bit of this and just give it a try. So I've cut it there, and it's got some little bit of scratch, so I'm going to take that bit out. And I'm going to place that one, nice shiny side, down on there. Piece of my card. You see, I'm using scraps. I'm using scraps. I place it there. I'm going to put my piece there, and I'm going to put it down. Now that's already warm, but I'm going to leave it a little bit longer, and I'm going to get one of my plates, if I can find one. Let's see if my plate, that's my cutting plate for my big shot. I'm going to see if I put that on, whether it will go through. I don't think it might be too much, but I'm going to try it. It was already on, so let's see if it works. Now that is a little bit too much. I'm going to continue with my shim. I'm going to put one or two shims. Put this one. Two shims will do nicely, and I'm going to pass it through to see how this is going to fare. how the sentiment is going to work. Remember, these are all unbranded, so I'm not expecting miracles. Don't know whether they'll work, but then again, I didn't spend much on them, and I'm just trying to find out whether they work. I'm not affiliated with anybody, so it doesn't matter. I can use whatever it is I fancy. So let's have a look and see what this looks like. And there you go. I'm going to take my die off because it came on with my, that's done. And I'm going to now reveal what I've just did. And, ooh, smile came nice, but thanks for making me. Didn't seem to have go through properly. I don't know whether I can get you. There you go. So look, I've got smile. It came out brilliant. The word didn't. So what I'm going to do is try it again. I've got another piece. And I'm going to get another piece of foil. I'm going to do it from the same foil. And I'm going to test it again because I might have needed to either put a bit more shim or wait for it to warm up a little bit more. So thanks for making me smile. I'm going to do it straight there so I know roughly where it is. I'm going to place my foil on there, like so. And then I'm going to take a same piece. Look, it's from the same piece. So I'm not going to change the paper. I'm going to see if I did wrong by not maybe pressing it well enough. Right? I'm going to do my paper. And I'm going to add one more shim when I pass it through. So I'm going to leave it a little bit longer to make sure it warms up perfectly. Then I'm going to do, instead of 2 shims like I did before, I've got 2 double, I'm going to try putting another one in as well to see whether it will have a better contact. I'm going to wait for it to warm up. Doesn't matter because waiting that little bit longer will give you that little bit of a better result. Smile on its own came brilliant, look. It's just the text that didn't come up. Now, it could be the text is, it could be the paper, it could be the text is small, but then again, I've seen many small ones being used, so I don't think that would be a problem. Now, that's warm again, so I'm going to come out, and I'm going to go slowly through my Big Shot. I'm going to make sure I go slow over it. And that's going. It should kiss it nicely. I've now got an extra double shim on top. And that's done. Let's do it again. Because that could be the only thing that it needed. And like anything, this is trial and error. And then once you do it a few times, you know, I would recommend doing something like a notebook, foiling, call it foiling notebook. In fact, the first time we go to the shop, I might get a little foiling book, like a diary, and you can write in it sentiment, the foil you used, how many shims it needed, and which machine you used if you've got more than one, like I have. If you've got only one, then you don't need to do that. Now I'm going to open that, and hey ho, it all came together. I'm going to pick up my die. I don't want to try touching the die because I don't know how hot they really are. So I use that, and that's quite easy to do. Now it looks like it's gone in a lot better. You see it? So I'm going to reveal it. Now, sometimes I like to wait a little bit longer, but I'm going to reveal it. Thanks for making. Now, I've got a little bit of overfoiling. So when I do, I'm going to do it again. Can you see now? It came all right. In the light, there you go. I think you can see it. It came nice, but I've got a little bit of overfoiling. Although the only little bit I've got extra is here in the middle because this is going to be cut. So when I cut it, let me find the die for it. I've got a die for it. I need to put these on a piece of magnetic sheet so I know which one it is easily. I don't have to keep looking for them. Let's see if it's this one. No, it's not that one. I need to see which ones I've got. What I might do is shortly I'll finish this video and then I will put them all as they should be on a piece of magnetic sheet so I don't have to waste time trying to find my die. And then afterwards, I'll come back and I'll show you more what you can do with the other dies as well. I don't know where my, it could be that way. Is it that way? Ah, here it is. So when I cut it like so, see, you can't really see any of the silver foiling out on the side because it's going to be die cut. So let's do a couple of die cuts here. I'm going to switch this off for now. I'm not going to do any more until I sort out all the dies I have done. I'm going to cut these though so that you can see, anybody that doesn't watch any further video I do will be able to at least see what these turned up like. Yeah, that's the one. And please, if you do like and you want me to do more of these videos, and every now and then I do some lessons as well, but if you want me to do more of these videos, please do leave me a thumbs up, maybe comment, say what you think, and it will be nice to make you acquaintances. So let's get all my dies, plates, cutting plates, and I'm just going to cut them quickly through my die cutting machine. So I'll place it there. A darker one, when it's small text like this one, I would recommend you use a darker foil. I think it would look better than when you do it with a silvery one, or do it on dark card so that it will be easier to see. It's been cut and it's cut straight away. Look, first time. And there you go. Thanks for making me smile. You got it there. Now I'm going to try this one. I've got two to cut. So again, I will place my die exactly in the place where it should go. Something like that. I'm going to press that down and go through. So once I'm over it, I tend to come back out rather than pull it from the back. And now I've got my die cut, and that's going to be sending you health and happiness. So that's another die. I'm going to cut the last one. These pieces you can now throw away. Don't need them. I'm going to cut the last one. I think this would be nice. And you know what? I just realized I didn't even use the 200 grams I normally use. This came perfect on 160 grams. So maybe if I do the other one, that smile on 160 grams, it might turn up really nice. I'm going to place it there. Down. If I placed it a bit further up, I wouldn't have had to go through the whole lot to cut it. a little bit missing on the PP, but you know what? No problem. Look at that. So there you go. Don't know whether you can see it there. It looks really nice in real life. So that's how you can use any sentiments. These are all, as I said, these are all for those of they're all unbranded. For all of you that likes to keep scrap pieces, that bit I've just realized, yeah, I can use it for a smaller one. So for now, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Please remember to click the subscribe button if you want to see more, and maybe leave me a like if you enjoyed watching this video. Thanks for now.